Welcome to Blind Grilling. Today we're getting back to basics. So whether you're a new egger or thinking about getting an egg, this episode is perfect for you. I'm here with a large big green egg, and I've had this egg for probably 6 years. It's my second one. I had the first one since 2005. So had it for 5 years, had this one for 6 years. And one of the things that you may notice that you don't see nowadays are 3 little feet. This is what used to come with the eggs. Nowadays, what you've got, or what you want to get anyway, is something they call a table nest. This is just simply a little stand. It creates a little bit of air between your egg and the table that you've got it on, and just allows for some airflow underneath, not getting too hot. Used to, and it still works. Some guys still do it. They'll put stones underneath, and the egg will actually set on some stones. Some people still use the feet on top of those stones just to raise it off if you have a wood table. But this isn't wood, but nevertheless, that table nest is great. Really does good for allowing that airflow to get through there. And of course, you see the bottom vent. We'll be talking more about that in just a little bit. Moving up to the top, I'll assume either you've had it delivered or you've been able to get the bands on. You got the top set on the bottom, you got your handle, and of course you've got your green topper. And along with that comes your daisy wheel. This black top here that helps control the airflow at the top of the egg. We'll go ahead and put it on, because what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to get the egg set up for a first cook, or if you've taken everything out and got it cleaned up and want to put it all back together and ready to cook again. Alright, so if you open up the egg, I've got everything out of it. You can see it's pretty much cleaned up. We did a hot burn to clean the egg, which is basically what you do. You get a little bit of charcoal in it. Once you've got it set up, it will show you, but I got it to over 600 degrees for a little over an hour just to get it cleaned up. Burn off everything, kind of like a self-cleaning oven. Never put any more water or any type of cleaner chemicals in here. Not necessary at all. What we've got here is our firebox. We're going to set our firebox right down into the egg. Now, let me lift it back up here and show you. You can see on the bottom there's this piece. That's where for your draft door down at the bottom of the egg. What allows your air to come through and get to your charcoal. So you want to set this down, and I'm going to turn it to where it is just slightly off-centered towards the right. And not only that, because of the way the draft door opens, just something to think about as the air is going in, kind of almost at an angle, with the egg being rounded, but it seems to really work well the way I've got that set up, kind of at an angle. And up here, what you want to do is make sure that the spacing in the back and in the front and on each side is as equal as possible. Because again, you've got air that's circulating around your firebox as well. And then you'll notice there's these holes that allow the air to flow through. Occasionally, as you burn charcoal in your egg, you want to go through and make sure those holes are clear, because again, that's allowing air, fresh air, as it circulates, to come through and give good oxygen to your fire and help with the burning of your charcoal. So making sure that is as even as possible. And then we've got this ring here that will set right on top of that. A little tight. And really the same concept, making sure you get as even of spacing around the egg as you possibly can. So you want to make sure that air is able to move through. And then as we talk more, one of the things that a lot of guys have done with infrared thermometers and heat sensors, whatever it is they're using, but they're finding that this back portion seems to get hotter than as small as it is, there are hot spots that can be created, and it seems like this very back center is one of them. But we'll need to make sure all that spacing is as even as possible. And then the next thing that goes in is your little grate here that holds your charcoal. The way you know how it goes in, it's kind of angled right here, and so the way that it is angled, it goes up. So the wider, and a little bit smaller up here, the wider side, the tapered, the wider of this tapered holes, and on the side here goes down in here. So we're going to sit this down here in the egg, just kind of sits there, get it centered and stable as you can. And now it's ready for some charcoal. So let me grab some charcoal, show you to fill it up, we'll be right back. Alright folks, I've got some charcoal here. This is whole lump charcoal that we're using. Real nice. I love the large pieces. The best part of this lump charcoal. But we'll go ahead and get some of this in here. Ooh, pretty dusty. Now, a couple of things when you're filling up your Firebox. I'll tell you right now, you've got a couple of choices. But first of all, this ring, where the top ring sits on your Firebox, that's as high as you ever want to fill it. But you don't always have to fill it that high. If you're going to do some hot and fast cooks, you don't need near as much charcoal. If you're doing burgers and brats and dogs and maybe some pork steaks, or just something quick and hot, you don't need near as much. You're doing a long, slow burn, you'll need more, but never any higher than that ring right there. Just because well, first of all, you don't need it, but second of all, you're going to have to make sure you got airflow that's going on inside the egg. Now, then after you've got that, of course, you've got your cooking grid, and you're pretty much ready to light your charcoal and get to cooking. Very quickly, when it comes to a couple of accessories, we'll do another episode just on all the accessories that are available, but a couple that you want to make sure you've got is, first of all, a grate grabber. This thing has just been phenomenal. I mean, it'd be hard to work without one. They've got different types. They've got one that you put in and you kind of turn and it grabs hold of the grate. I like this stainless one here. It works great. And of course, the other one over here is the ash tool. Not only can you use it to stir up your charcoal, but also down here it goes in and pulls out any of the ash that is created from your cook. That's going to be necessary. And so the only other thing would be something to light your charcoal. I have an electric starter, which very quickly I will grab and show you. So I can plug this up, stick it down into the charcoal, and 6 to 8 minutes charcoal is lit, and you're bringing your egg up to temperature. Otherwise, you can get starters that you can stick in the charcoal and light and let them do their job. When you're ready to cook, when you're lighting your charcoal, make sure your bottom vent is completely open with the screen closed, and your top is completely open as well. And once it starts to light, what you'll do is you'll learn how your grill responds to different amounts of airflow. So if you want it to 350, you know that probably about right there, these holes mostly open. Right there, I'll probably be within 15 to 20 degrees. Just with a quick setup like that, I'll be at 350, anywhere from 340 to 375. And then I can make some fine-tune adjustments up top and mainly down low as that airflow is going in to your charcoal. And folks, you're ready to cook on the Big Green Egg. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you got questions, you got comments, please be sure and leave them. And subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter. All of it at Blind Grilling. Again, appreciate you watching. And remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking.